What I want to know is this. If you can't at least sprain your ankle, can you even call it a sport? Welcome to vlog 41. This vlog is gonna kind of look at a couple of aspects of athleticism, and we're gonna talk a little bit about sports. So let's get going, let's have some fun. So I'm on my way to do another work-based learning visit, and so I put the camera up. I thought I would try to record some clips for this video while I make my way out to the next town where I'm gonna be checking on a student's work. But before I get all the way deep into this to this vlog, I'm gonna try that little thing I was talking about earlier about doing the what's up with the Tahoe. So take a look at this. In this segment of What's Up with the Tahoe, I got some good news, although I still can't explain it. Check the oil again, it's full. I just don't understand. Also, I checked the transmission fluid, it's full. But since we're talking about transmission, when the Tahoe is really cold, it sometimes doesn't want to get out of first gear. And that's kind of getting me a little bit scary. So that's what's up with the Tahoe today. Thanks for watching. Now back to the regularly scheduled video. So what got me thinking about this sprained ankle thing was the swimming and diving meet that was last night. So I had a video shoot last night, shot swimming and diving, and then also went over and supervised some of my student photographers as they shot the wrestling match. And so I got to thinking about sports. And some time ago, I was watching ESPN when I had cable, and they had a spelling bee. Now, I think academic competitions are fantastic. I think academic competitions are really good in a lot of different ways. But are they sports? So my friends and I, we got into a debate about what was a sport and what wasn't a sport. Someone said NASCAR driving wasn't a sport, and I said it was. And someone said that, I don't remember what else. And so, finally the guy said, well, he called me on it. He said, so what's your definition of sport? And I thought about it for a minute, and I decided on this definition. If you are doing it, and part of doing it could cause you to at least sprain your ankle or worse, then it's a sport. Cheerleading is a sport. Swimming. This guy could drown. That would be worse than spraining an ankle. He could hit his head, and look at this guy. Clearly, that's a sport because there's so many things that could go wrong. There's so many ways you could get injured. So my definition stands. If you could sprain your ankle or worse. Now that brings a lot of things in, like NASCAR and cheerleading I mentioned. And the reason to mention cheerleading is going to kind of segue into maybe the thoughtful part of this vlog. But spelling. You're not supposed to sprain your ankle spelling a word. Now you may sprain your ankle walking up on the stage, but that's not part of the spelling bee, that's part of walking. And I also have to say this, just because you can sprain your ankle doesn't make it a sport. Like walking to work, you could fall off the curb and sprain your ankle. Walking to work is definitely not a sport. But if you can't sprain your ankle, then it's not a sport. See how that works? Monopoly. If you're like walking to the kitchen to get some Doritos and you sprain your ankle, that's really not part of Monopoly. That's part of being in the house. So, with that said, I want to show another little video clip. Now this is definitely a sport. What these young ladies are doing is obviously very athletic, and there's a lot of things that could lead to injuries, and some of the injuries could be far worse than death. Now, that was a pretty exciting clip. It was pretty good tumbling and the little stunt in the middle. Well, after the stunt was over, the young lady that videoed that handed me the camera and said, here, look at this, and I was looking at it. And the young lady that was thrown up in the air, she goes, "Oh, don't look at that. We messed up." So you messed up? How did you mess up? That was awesome. She goes, "Well, I wasn't supposed to come back down just then. I was supposed to stay up and do something. I don't know. She was going to do splits or something standing up there. I've seen her where she stands up, and it's crazy." I said, "Well, I couldn't even tell you messed up. It looked like they threw you up and you came back down. It looked great." No, she goes, "No, that's not what was supposed to happen." And I got to thinking about that. I thought there was a couple of really interesting lessons in their response to the mistake they made. So here's what I got. Lesson number 1. When you make a mistake, sometimes you've got to just keep going. You learn from the mistake. You try not to do it a second time, but sometimes you just keep going. And that's what they did. They were, I don't know what they were supposed to do, but they went up, she came down, they caught her, they all got down, they kept cheering, and it looked great. So how do you get to the place where you can make a mistake like that and just keep going? That's a very important question. And that comes from preparation and practice and planning for contingencies. That's why schools have fire drills. At some point, you need to know what to do if something goes wrong. And so the cheerleaders who did the stunt, they said they messed up, but they kept going forward. They knew what to do if the mistake was made, and they didn't let the mistake crush them. They didn't quit when they made a mistake. They could have just, like, the girl could have come down, they could have looked at each other and covered their faces and looked at each other and, whatever. But they didn't do that. They, I guess, inside themselves, they accepted the mistake and they went on to the next thing and they kept going. So that's kind of the lesson on the mistakes. If you make a mistake, sometimes you need to just keep going. Sometimes you need to just accept your mistake and go forward and keep going. So that's the first little lesson I got out of the video. The second lesson from that little video clip has to do with being part of a team. And whether you're a team of surgeons in the ER, or you're a team of football players on the gridiron, or you're a team of computer programmers trying to put code together for the next latest, greatest application. Whether you're a photography club trying to cover all the events of the school, there has to be a level of communication and trust that really goes to be successful. To be successful, there has to really be a high level of trust and communication between all the members of the team. And the girl that goes up and does the stunt, they call her the flyer. I guess probably her example of trusting her team, it's really pretty amazing. They lifted her up, and somewhere along the way, she realized that she was going to come back down suddenly, and she trusted them enough to get into that position where they could catch her. I'm sure they practiced this. I'm sure they're well rehearsed. They're obviously great athletes to be able to pull that off. But she had to trust that even though things went wrong, they were going to do what they were supposed to do. Now, that level of trust is applicable in all kinds of settings. It's applicable on the job. It's applicable within the family. It's applicable within any kind of community organization. That level of trust is admirable, and it's something that everyone should hope to be in a group where it can exist. So those are the two thoughts I had from watching the video and hearing the students talk about it afterwards. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little rant about spraining your ankle and playing sports, and I hope the thoughts about trust and teamwork and not letting your mistakes get you down, I hope those were somewhat at least thought-provoking. Thanks for watching this video. Please, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Share it with someone who might find it interesting. And also, if you would, subscribe to this channel. That's going to be all for now. And again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.